What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Mikey Hikes It. Today I'm at John Glen Grove. It's a trailhead on the Ohio and Erie Canal Towpath Trail. This video will be going up on Monday, April 21st, 2025. So let's look around and check out some cool stuff here at this park before we get on the trail. Like this bust right here. Check this out. So we have astronaut John Glenn reaching for the stars. Very cool. So John Glenn Commemorative Grove in the honor of John H. Glenn Jr., space pioneer, statesman, patriot, born in Cambridge, Ohio, NASA astronaut, first American to orbit the Earth, oldest American to orbit the Earth, U.S. Senator from 75 to 1998. For the state of Ohio here. He's in the Marines. And this was dedicated October 21st, 2000. All right, so got a couple of benches. So you kind of like just sit in that area right here at the edge of the trailhead. So that's going south into the village of Navarre. Nice park area down there. Little kiosk here. Plenty of tools for all the bikes that come through here. I've actually used them myself just recently. And that part of the trail goes north into Massillon. So we do have a small creek, not a whole lot of water here right now. That was a different story about a week ago. You guys can see over here on this side that this creek does dump over into the Tuscarawas River. And then this opens up to a pretty good sized park area. Some seating, some benches. We've got some picnic tables that hopefully they're going to replace, at least both of the ones on that side, because they're pretty rough. We got a decent picnic table over here, but there's also not so much on that side, but over with this one we've got a grill too. But yeah, nice little seating area here with a grill, so you can have a family picnic. But today I think we're going to go up here, cross the street, and go north towards Massillon. All right, here we go. This kind of little decline here, and then it flattens out, and then this goes on until I think the next like area where you could jump on and off would be Walnut Road. You can see this is part of the old canal. And we got our path, a little trail that goes down to the bridge where a lot of people do some fishing, and there's the river. And then just up here by a couple feet, this is going to change into a limestone surface trail. All right, guys, so I'll walk along here. Got the river over here to my left, the path, and then the canal, the old, what's left of the canal. So the Ohio and Erie Canal initially connected like Akron to the Cuyahoga River in Cleveland, and then eventually went south to the Ohio River. I cannot think of the Portsmouth, something like that. You guys can look that up on your own. But yeah, so that was like in the 1820s. I think by towards the end of the 1820s through really like middle of the Civil War, the canal was used for transport of just about anything that you can think of. Flowers, grains, stone, wood, timbers, anything like that you can think of was traveling on this canal. There was like 140 something locks. So yeah, so that was through like till about the 1860s during the Civil War. And then after that point, it was more of just that industrial stuff. Like there was like passengers and everything else that was going on these canal boats before that time frame, before it become just industrial. And then in 1913 there was massive flooding in Ohio, and that pretty much washed out most of the canal at that point. They'd had some flooding before that, but that was really what did it in. So there are some locks that have been restored, like Lock 4 Park and Canal Fulton. I can't remember if I got a video of that or not. We'll go back and we'll do another one here in the very near future. And we'll get up into Clinton. Clinton's got a couple of locks, and there's a lock museum closer to Cleveland. It's very cool. I think going south into Tuscarawas County, I know there's a video of that. There's locks, what is that, 7, 8, and 9? They're all very close together. But, and those locks aren't, like Lock 4 is fully functioning lock still. So it's very, very cool to check that out. But yeah, beautiful day. River's looking nice back there. Sun's not quite setting yet. Trees are starting to green up. I know we just talked about that a few days ago. And we got the canal. It's crazy. Within a couple of weeks, you won't be able to see up them hills. They'll just be completely covered with brush and undergrowth. Kind of surprised that not seeing any turtles yet today. But we are getting to some areas where there's a lot of logs. So that's where we'll see them turtles out and about, sunning themselves. Pretty wet over here yet from the rains a few weeks ago. But for the most part, everything's dried out. I mean, the river's down within its banks compared to where it was completely flooded out a few weeks ago. So one of the things that come along with areas like this, with these wetlands and this old canal area, like it's not bad now because, you know, we're not even at the end of April yet, but in the summertime, like middle of the day, not terribly bad unless you're standing around in the shade, but it gets like closer to evening, you almost can't walk through this area without being completely drenched in like some off or some cutter or any of those mosquito kind of sprays, because the mosquitoes down here will just lift you up and fly away with you. Mosquitoes are terrible down here. All right, so I think we're gonna walk just a little bit further down here, just down to like US 30, where US 30 cuts over the path. I can kind of hear the traffic, so I know we're getting close. Kind of a neat little area there. Sometimes I see some geese, some deer, some ducks. See what we can't find down that direction. Then the river's kind of moved away from us a little bit. I mean, I can kind of see it back there through the trees, but it does kind of cut back up here in about, I don't know, 100 yards, 200 yards. We'll be right back on top of the river. So tons of squirrels and chipmunks out here today. I can hear them running around through all this dead leaves and stuff that are still laying on on the ground, going up the hills. Oh, let's see. We're getting kind of close back to the river. No, this is just like a flooded out area. But once we get to 30, the river comes back in play. But in the meantime, we always have the murky waters that used to be the canal. I can just imagine. I'm not sure, like, I just forget things, you know, when you don't read it a lot or whatever, or review. But I need to go back through and try to remember, like, how many, like, canal boats a day were using these canals and these locks. I mean, it's probably, that's how a lot of these towns grew up, were along the canal. So I would think that there was quite a bit of traffic on them. That was boats being led by some donkeys, mules, in some cases horses. Something I do kind of want to do later on this summer is take a canal boat trip in Canal, Fulton, Ohio. St. Helena Park, you can take a canal boat trip from St. Helena down to Lock 4 Park and back. It's pretty cool. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It's only like a mile down, mile back, so it's not too bad. All right, guys, we're getting ready to hit the freeway and get back to the river. So I'm gonna turn the camera back around. All right, so there's US 30 up there. Very busy road, a lot of commercial traffic. And once you get past that, you kind of get down to an area that's behind like a Lowe's, Walmart, big shopping area. And you get behind a juvenile prison, Massillon's water treatment plant. Oh, wow. I'm sure there'll be somebody out doing some cleaning here at some point, but it's just still early enough in the spring that all the trash from all winter is still littered all over the hill. All right, here we go. So we hit some pavement here for a little bit as we go underneath 30. Okay, here we go. So now you guys can see where the river kind of comes back along the towpath for a while. And really, they follow side by side for quite a ways after this. There might be a couple spots, but that it kind of gets away from the river. But for the vast majority of through the city of Massillon, it's right, the path is right along the river. So yeah, so check it out. So we got the river now, we got the railroad over there across the other side, and we have the eastbound lanes and the westbound lanes. Lots of graffiti. Pretty cool. So I think I'm going to turn around here just another 100 foot, 200 foot, something like that. We'll go ahead and end the video then at that point. But I just wanted to show you guys this part of the trail and kind of talk about a little bit of the history of this trail. I mean, I guess we didn't really talk about the history so much as we talked about the history of the canal. So I think for like another day, I'll save like some of the history of like the trail and some of the restoration of the trail. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this walk with me on the towpath. Going north from John Glen Grove into Massillon. So from John Glen Grove to US 30 is the section of the towpath that we covered. So yeah, it's really nice down here though. I mean, other than the freeway noise, just the way that the river kind of gets close to the trail. It's an area where there's not like a bunch of like trees and big weeds and stuff. So like all year long, you can really see the river from here. So it's very picturesque for certain. But anyways, if you guys like this video, please leave me a big thumbs up. I'd very much appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you will consider subscribing. And we'll see you guys next time.